Yo, so this is the Urban Combo V2, or 2.0, whatever you want to call it. And just like with the Red Combo, this title is a little clickbaity, because I'm not going to be analyzing the whole combo, and the reason for that is very obvious. The first half of this combo, or rather the first 10 to 12 seconds, are literally identical to the original Urban Combo that I did. And that combo was a replication of one of Ayu's combos. So it's a combo by Ayu Redgrave. You can see this right here. It is quite literally the same exact thing. You summon the Doppelganger, and, you know, the first half of the combo ends with million stabs. So if you want to know how to use this combo, just watch my Urban Combo analysis. I'll leave the link to that video in the description below, because there's absolutely no reason for me to analyze that combo all over again. So you do the Urban Combo, and then, you know, the original Urban Combo, and then you do the rest. Now, I will be analyzing the second half of the Urban Combo here, or rather, everything that happens after the first million stab. So, basically, I don't know if you've noticed, but this is a mix between the Urban Combo, like the original Urban Combo, and then after Million Stab, I do the final part of the Wreckage Combo, and then I do one part of the Void Combo, and then there's even a little bit of the Heaven Combo thrown into the mix there. So all of these combos, like the Wreckage Combo, the Void Combo, the Heaven Combo, those are all combos by Maker T. So the first half, like the first 12 seconds, are by Ayu, and then the rest is basically all Maker T. I decided to kind of spice things up. Now, this combo is already excruciatingly difficult enough, like the first half, because, you know, you can make a lot of mistakes when it comes to the timing, you know, that part where the Doppelganger is supposed to use Aerial Rave, but, yeah, you could also make mistakes during the latter half, you know, the second part of the combo. So, I could tell you to watch my Wreckage combo analysis and my Void combo analysis, because I've already analyzed what I'm about to be talking about, but, you know, just to be safe, you know, because I imagine it will be a hassle to, you know, constantly switch between videos, so I will be analyzing the second half of this combo. So everything that happens after the first million stab, after the original Urban Combo, I will be analyzing right now. So first watch the Urban Combo analysis, the original Urban Combo, that was by Ayu, and then, you know, watch this video. So yeah. Also, keep in mind, for this combo to work, your concentration level has to be 0. Otherwise, the combo fails right off the bat, because upper/2 will hit the enemy. And if your concentration level is 0, it won't graze the enemy. But if it's higher than 0, if it's 1 or 2, it will hit the enemy, because concentration gives your attacks more range, and it gives them a bigger hitbox. So your concentration level needs to be 0 for this combo. I said this in my original Urban Combo analysis, but I gotta say it again, just to be safe, you know? So after you've done the original Urban Combo, and after you've done Million Stab, you use Rising Star, and you deactivate your Sin DT. This is very important, and I'll explain why later. So you deactivate your Sin DT, and now that you've used Rising Star, you summon the haste version of the Doppelganger, the version that is in sync with you and mimics your commands immediately. You also simultaneously switch the Mirage Edge, and you let go of the lock-on. And now that the Doppelganger has been summoned, you just press the Trick button. In other words, you use Trick Up to propel yourself into the air. And as you already know, Trick Up is letting go of the lock-on and pressing the Trick button. Or in my case, I let go of Shift and I press E. So after you've basically, you know, summoned the Doppelganger, you use Trick Up, and now you use Air Stinger with the Mirage Edge. Now, as you already know, when you're on the left side in the air with the Mirage Edge, Air Stinger is right plus attack button. So you press right plus the tag button, but that's not enough. So you have to press right, and you gotta press the attack button 2 to 3 times. And the reason for this is very simple. You want the Doppelganger to use Aerial Rave 2. Now, as you already know, Aerial Rave 2 with the Yamato is attack button, pause, and then you just keep mashing the attack button. So you press the attack button twice, then you make a pause, and then you just keep mashing like a maniac until you do the rest of Aerial Raid 2. So you want the Doppelganger to use the first 2 hits of Aerial Raid 2 while you're using Air Stinger. And for that to work, you gotta press right, and you gotta press the attack button twice or thrice. Usually I press it thrice, but you can also do it twice because you want the Doppelganger to use the first 2 hits of Aerial Rave 2. So, right plus attack button, or right plus attack button. Doesn't matter if it's 2 to 3 times, as long as you don't mash like a maniac. If you press the attack button more than 3 times, what's going to happen is the Doppelganger will use Aerial Rave 1. And Aerial Rave 1 is basically mashing the attack button like a maniac without making any pause. So if you do that, the Doppel will use Aerial Rave 1, and you don't want that. You want him to use Aerial Rave 2, so you make a pause after the first 2 hits. So, again, you press right plus attack button, like 2 to 3 times, doesn't matter, to use Air Stinger, and for the Doppelganger to use the first 2 hits of Aerial Rave 2 with the Yamato. And now, this is very important, you make a pause after the second hit, or, well, after the third hit, doesn't really matter, and during this pause, you use the air taunt with Vergil. So you use the air taunt. Vergil has that air taunt where he throws 3 Mirage Blades at the enemy, into the air. So make sure that when you make this pause, like after this pause, you immediately use the air taunt, okay? So Vergil will now throw these 3 Mirage Blades, these 3 Summoned Swords, into the air, and during this taunt, you make sure to resume mashing, and you keep mashing the attack button like a maniac, non-stop. You just keep mashing the attack button. So what will happen here is Vergil will use the air taunt, and the Doppelganger will react to you mashing, and he will use the rest of Aerial Rave 2. So he will use this roulette spin, he'll use the last hit, all while you're basically mashing. But why use the taunt? It's very simple. It's because Vergil does not react to melee commands while he's taunting. So Vergil will be too busy taunting to react to you mashing the attack button. But the Doppelganger doesn't have that limitation, so he will just continue mashing. So in other words, Vergil will taunt, and he won't react to you mashing, but the Doppelganger will. This is why you have to basically use the air taunt after this pause, and you gotta mash during this air taunt. Do you understand? Okay. Like I said, you basically keep mashing during the air taunt and after the air taunt, and in the end, Vergil will eventually use Helmbreaker with the Mirage Edge, and the Doppelganger will use the last hit of Aerial Rave 2. Now, the reason Vergil will use Helmbreaker with the Mirage Edge is pretty simple. If you press the attack button in the air with the Mirage Edge, that's Helmbreaker, and Vergil will basically hit the ground with Helmbreaker, and since you're mashing the attack button, that's what he'll use Helmbreaker, okay? So now that the Doppelganger has basically pinned the enemy to the ground with the last hit of Aerial Rave 2, and now that you're done with Helmbreaker, you just use Million Stab, which is left plus holding the attack button. And that's it. That's basically the last part of the Wreckage combo. I've literally explained all of this. So, again, just to be safe, you basically summon the haste version of the Doppelganger, you switch the Mirage Edge, you let go of the lock-on. Now that the Doppel has been summoned, you use Trick Up, you use Air Stinger, and you press right plus attack button, or right plus attack button, either 2 or 3 times. So during Air Stinger, you press the attack button twice or thrice. This will cause Vergil to use Air Stinger and the Doppelganger to use the first 2 hits of Aerial Rave 2, because it's required. Now, you make a pause, And after this pause, you use the air taunt. And during this air taunt, you keep mashing, you keep mashing. This will cause the Doppelganger to use the remainder of Aerial Rave 2. And while you're mashing, eventually, Vergil will hit the ground with Helmbreaker, and the Doppelganger will pin the enemy to the ground with the last hit of Aerial Rave 2. After this, you simply use Million Stab. So now, after Million Stab, you once again use Rising Star, and now, once again, you summon the haste version of the Doppelganger, the same version that reacts to your commands immediately. So now that you've basically summoned the haste version of the Doppelganger, you switch the Mirage Edge again, and now you press right plus attack button. And now, why do you do that? This is basically the same thing that happened in the Void combo. So, you know, Helmbreaker with the Mirage Edge is just pressing the attack button in midair. Right? So, if you press the attack button in midair, Vergil will use Helmbreaker, but the Doppelganger, who can only use the Yamato, will react to you pressing the attack button once, and he will use the first hit of Aerial Rave. Because, you know, pressing the attack button once in the air with the Yamato is one hit of Aerial Rave. One. So the Doppelganger, who only has the Yamato, will go, oh, you pressed the attack button once. I have the Yamato, so I will use the first hit of Aerial Rave. But Vergil, who has the Mirage Edge, will use Helmbreaker. So this is why you have to press right plus attack button. Because when you have the Yamato and you're on the right side in midair, and you press right plus attack button, that is Aerial Cleave. And you want the Doppelganger to use Aerial Cleave with the Yamato. So once you've summoned the Doppelganger, you basically you switch to the Mirage Edge, and you press right plus attack button. This will still cause Vergil to use Helmbreaker, but the Doppelganger will react to you pressing right plus attack button, and he will use Aerial Cleave. So now Vergil will basically pin the enemy to the ground, and the Doppelganger will also pin the enemy to the ground, but, you know, Aerial Cleave causes this bounce-up effect, so the enemy will slightly bounce up into the air, alright? Now that you've hit the ground with Helmbreaker, you immediately use Rapid Slash, which is the left plus attack button, okay? And Vergil will use Rapid Slash. Now, during this Rapid Slash, or after it, you make sure to input Yamato Combo B with the Doppelganger. So, attack button, pause, attack button. Because as you already know, Yamato Combo B is basically attack button, pause, attack button. So 2 plus 1. So, again, during Rapid Slash or after Rapid Slash, you make sure to input Yamato Combo B, and the Doppelganger will use Yamato Combo B on the enemy. And the last hit of Yamato Combo B will send the enemy flying towards Vergil. At this point, immediately after Vergil is done sheathing his sword, you input Void Slash, which is back plus forward plus attack button, or in my case, S plus W plus left mouse button. This will cause Vergil to catch the enemy with Void Slash and suspend them in the air. After this, you immediately use Trig Down to gain some distance away from the enemy. You go into your Sin DT, your Sin Double Trigger, and you use SDT Yamato Combo A. One thing that I forgot to mention is that you're supposed to start charging your Sin Double Trigger immediately, like, during Rapid Slash, basically, like after it or during it, you know, it doesn't matter. This may be a little overwhelming because, you know, you gotta keep track of a lot of things, but it's really not an issue because, you know, sometimes I would make this mistake where I would start charging my Sin Double Trigger way too late. So you can see here how, you know, I do Rapid Slash, the Doppelganger does Yamato Combo B, I use Void Slash, and I only start charging my Sin Double Trigger after Trig Down, right? And now, you know, I gotta stand here really awkwardly and wait, and by that point, the enemy will have hit the ground. But it doesn't matter, this is on me. You can simply charge your Sin Double Trigger while using Yamato Combo A. I don't know why I did that. So that's probably the easiest way to do this. You start charging your Sin Double Trigger during Yamato Combo A, and then you basically release it and you use the full SDT Yamato Combo A. So that is basically the end of this combo. Alright, so now let's talk about some of the mistakes you can make during the second half of the combo, or well, basically everything that comes after the original Urban combo. So one thing that happened a few times was I actually hit this reversal with Rising Star. After Million Stab, I would use Rising Star and I'd do reversal basically. And I guess this was because of the enemy's altitude. I don't know how to use reversals intentionally. I know it's an advanced mechanic and a lot of advanced players know how to use it. I can't use it intentionally, but somehow it happened here. So it only happened a few times, or maybe, I don't know, maybe once? I don't know. So, yeah, I think there's only one recorded instance of this, or two. I have no idea. So, yeah. Oh, and here you can see how sometimes I would use the S rank air taunt instead of the normal air taunt. So Vergil has two air taunts. He has the normal air taunt, which is just, him throwing those three Mirage Blades at the enemy. And he has another air taunt, which is only activated if your style ranking is S. So while using this combo, make sure your style ranking is not S, because this taunt, this S rank air taunt, will not work. It won't function as intended. So make sure that when you start this combo, your rank is not S, and it's not even A. Make sure you start this combo with no rank, or maybe D rank. C rank, I have no idea. You could also change this using that trainer, you know what I mean? That's probably the safest way if you're on PC, but if you're not, definitely make sure the style ranking is very low or non-existent. And some similar applies to the ice combo, because in the ice combo you actually want your style ranking to be really, really high, because in the end you want Vergil to use that triple S let's have some fun taunt. Or you could change it in the trainer, it doesn't really matter, so make sure not to use this S rank air taunt. If your style ranking is S during this part of the combo, it's over. Here you can see how the enemy falls to the ground during Million Stab, or rather after the Doppelganger's aerial raid tool. So the Doppel pins the enemy to the ground with aerial raid tool, and the enemy just hits the ground like he looks like a pancake, basically, and you can't pick them up with Million Stab. This has happened quite a few times. You can, of course, continue the combo like this, but I have OCD when it comes to combos, and I was like, no, we're making a do-over. We're doing this all over again, so no. So you could count this as a mistake. I definitely would, because it looks mad annoying, so, yeah. So here you can see, and I cannot believe this, man. I was so mad. No Rising Star during, or well, after Million Stab. So you can't see the HUD. You can't see my keyboard. You can't see my layout, my controls. But believe me, take my word for it, I am pressing left and I'm holding the attack button. And I keep doing that. I'm like, oh wait, why isn't it coming out? And I keep pressing left plus attack button. I keep holding it. I keep trying to use Rising Star, but no. Vergil just keeps using Million Stab, and he will not react to me pressing left and holding the attack button. Even though I pressed left and held the attack button like 6 times during Million Stab, he never once woke up and, oh man, I don't know. I don't know what this was all about. But I guess it was the camera angle. I guess the game was like, what are you talking about, bro? You're not on the right side. You can't just press the left plus holding the attack button to use Rising Star. This happened, I think, once or twice. Have no idea, but it's definitely incredibly annoying. So here you can see how I ended up using Rising Star instead of Rapid Slash. So, after you use Helmbreaker and after the Doppelganger is done with Aerial Cleave, you're supposed to press the left plus attack button to use Rapid Slash. But in this case, and this happened multiple times, Vergil ends up using Rising Star. And Rising Star is the left plus holding the attack button. Not left plus attack button. But I swear to you, I don't think I was holding the attack button at all. You can see my keyboard, you can see my commands. I was not holding the attack button, at least not that long, so I have no idea why he used Rising Star. I guess it's, for some reason, very strict all of a sudden. This happened a lot, which is funny, because I don't remember this happening during the Void combo at all, but this happened a lot. So, like I said, during that, second part of the combo, you're supposed to press, you call, you summon the haste version of the Doppelganger, and you use Helmbreaker, and you press right plus attack button during Helmbreaker so that the Doppelganger can use aerial cleave with the Yamato, which is right plus attack button. And that is precisely what I'm pressing during all these attempts. But no, the Doppelganger simply does not react to me pressing right plus attack button, and he does not use aerial cleave. He either does one hit of Yamato Aerial Rave 1, or he does nothing. So it's like he doesn't react to me pressing right plus attack button, he only reacts to me pressing the attack button. I suspect this might have something to do with me inputting this too early, so make sure that after you've called the Doppelganger and he's kind of like fully formed, make sure that then, at that point, you press right plus attack button. It's highly likely that I did it too early. I input this whole thing too early, so right plus attack button, but maybe just wait a little. Otherwise, as you can see, the Doppel will use only one hit of Aerial Rave instead of using Aerial Cleave, so yeah. Oh, and here we are at last. So remember how I told you how after Million Stab, after the original Urban combo is done, you deactivate your Sindal trigger, right? Now, the reason I said this is because of what I'm about to show you, and I've explained all of this during the Void combo, but I want to spare you, the agony of constantly having to switch between different combo analyses that are like over an hour and a half long. So, Yamato Combo B in base form, like when you're not in your Sind ET, is attack button, pause, attack button. And the last hit of Yamato Combo B will basically send the enemy flying. It provides knockback. However, when you're in your Sind ET, Yamato Combo B has an additional fourth hit. So it's like attack button, pause, attack button. So the third hit of Yamato Combo B in base form provides knockback and it sends the enemy flying. But in Sind ET, the third hit of Yamato Combo B does not send the enemy flying. So the enemy stays in place, and then the last hit of Yamato Combo B in Sind ET, this flip with the sword, is what sends the enemy flying. So if you're in your Sind ET and you basically input Yamato Combo B with the Doppelganger, what's going to happen is he will use Yamato Combo B, and during the third hit of Yamato Combo B, he won't send the enemy flying towards Vergil, so Vergil won't be able to catch the enemy using Void Slash. So that's because the third hit of Yamato Combo B in Sind ET does not provide knockback. It doesn't send the enemy flying, which is why you gotta deactivate your Sind ET. Now, of course, admittedly, you don't have to do it as early as I did. You can do it after the second part of the combo with the aerial cleave bid, but, better safe than sorry. Here you can see this one mistake that was incredibly common during the Void combo, but it was slightly less common during this combo, which is kind of odd because it's literally the exact same setup. It's a 1-to-1. So Void Slash just misses entirely. So the Doppelganger sends the enemy flying towards Vergil. Vergil uses Void Slash, but the enemy lands in a completely random direction. Like, they just get sent flying, they fly right past Void Slash, they fly right past Vergil, and there's nothing you can do about it. This is completely random. So maybe it's a stage issue, maybe it's an angle issue, a camera issue, I have no idea whatsoever. So here you can see this, well, you could say this is a non-issue, but like I said, I have OCD, and this is really annoying. So in these examples, Vergil actually catches the enemy with Void Slash, but the enemy is on the ground. In other words, the enemy's feet are touching the ground, even though they've been caught by Void Slash. So they're not airborne, and the name of the game is keeping the enemy airborne, so I was like, no, this doesn't count, even though you can still continue the combo like this and do it perfectly. So this could be it's just my OCD, like I said, but yeah, I've got this perfectionist kind of thing going with these combos, so yeah. Here you can see how I deactivated the Doppelganger instead of simply using Trig Down, and this is because of the Void combo. My muscle memory kicked in. I got PTSD from that combo, and even though I did it like 2 years ago, I still remember how I did it, and because of this, I deactivated the Doppelganger instinctively. So, yeah. And in this case, you can see a similar thing. Basically, I call the Doppelganger back to my position instead of basically just not doing that. And again, it's muscle memory from my other combos. Here you can see how there was this insane desync. Everything was going absolutely perfectly. It could not have been more perfect. And then the last part of the combo, and you can see how the Doppelganger uses Yamato combo A, but Vergil, for whatever reason, uses Yamato combo C, which is you press the attack button 4 times and then you make a pause and then you start mashing. But I didn't make a pause. And I think that much should be obvious because the Doppelganger is clearly reacting to me using Yamato combo A. How the hell is Vergil using Yamato combo C? And why isn't the Doppelganger using Yamato combo C too then, if I did that? But I don't know, this kind of stuff would happen with the Heaven combo as well. It's just not that frequent, so. And here you can see how the combo was perfect, but I didn't like the camera angle. I was too close to the edge of the stage, and as a result, it just like, oh man, this looks icky. I don't like it. Even though it's perfect, I don't like it, so I scrapped this attempt, even though it doesn't look bad, but whatever. Also, I feel like this is noteworthy. I kind of want to offer an alternative here. You know that part of the combo where you're supposed to use the airton with the Mirage Blades and all? So there is an alternative here that you can opt for if you don't want to use the airton. So you can improvise, and you can do this. So you use Air Stinger with the Mirage Edge, so ride and you press the attack button 2 to 3 times. Now you make this pause because it's required, and now instead of using the air taunt, you simply use Helmbreaker and you keep mashing the attack button. This will cause Vergil to use Helmbreaker, and now he will be on the ground, and the Doppelganger will start using the rest of Aerial Rave 2. But the problem with this is now you're on the ground before the Doppelganger was able to pin the enemy to the ground. So what do you do now? You can't use Million Stab, because if you do, what's going to happen is Vergil will just, it'll be a clusterfuck. So now you just use one hit of Mirage Edge combo A. You just keep mashing on the ground like this, and now the Doppelganger will pin the enemy to the ground, and now you use Million Stab. So this is one alternative, but I don't like it because it looks kind of goofy. Because Vergil will now mash on the ground for no reason, and then he will use Million Stab. Like I said, it looks way more stylish. It's got way more panache, way more elegance when you use the airton as opposed to this version. But you can still do it if you don't want to use the airton for whatever reason. So yeah, just felt like that was kind of worth mentioning. And that's about all I can say regarding this second half of the combo. Like I said, the main issues are definitely, they all pertain to the first part of the combo, the first 10 seconds. That is by far the most difficult part of the combo. But now I'm able to do it way more consistently because, it kind of goes without saying why I can do it more consistently. It will be kind of sad if I wasn't able to do it after all these attempts and all these years. So, yeah, see ya and peace out.